We're gonna make a veggie broth today with vegetables I have left over from the week and lots of herbs and spices, so I'm gonna make it with you guys. For a broth, I pretty much will always just use what I have left over from the week before. I typically like to put in though like a carrot, celery, potatoes, garlic, onion, and lots of herbs and spices. But I don't have any potatoes, so we're just gonna do lots of celery and carrots today. You don't really need to cut the vegetables super perfectly. They are just going in to make the broth, and then you can save the leftover veggies once it's done boiling and keep them for another soup if you want. I like to try to do about 4 stalks of it. I think that's like a perfect amount for the broth. You can leave the leaves on or you can take them off. It doesn't matter. The leaves are perfectly fine on there. I feel like it actually will give it more flavor if you do leave it on. And then these ones I'm just doing a really thick chop. Now if you are planning to use these vegetables in another soup and you want to just make it easier, you can just slice them really thin now and they will be perfect for your soup. You can just stick them in the broth and ready to go. You want to use a really large pot because we're going to put about 10 to 12 cups of water in, because I like to make a decent amount of broth. So make sure you get the biggest pot that you have. You also could do a lot less if you don't need that much broth. We have a lot of garlic and onion left, so I'm going to do about 2 cloves of garlic. And you can put them in whole or you can chop them up. But I'm gonna put them in whole because I am in a rush today and I don't feel like chopping everything fully. I have about half an onion, so I'm probably going to just keep it to that so I don't use all my other ones for the week. The onion makes it taste super good though, so you want to put a decent amount of onion and garlic in it. We have the base of the broth. It already looks so good. And then we're gonna do seasonings now. We start out with a decent amount of pepper. And then I use flaky sea salt. You can use any kind, but I'm gonna just put a decent amount in. I like to add in turmeric because I think it just gives it a more brothy looking color. You don't want a lot, just a few little splashes. And then I like to put in a bunch of herbs. These ones are dried herbs, a big mix, so just kind of gives it a nice flavor. Now, depending on what kind of soup you make, your seasonings will kind of vary, but this one's probably going to be like a lentil-y, bean, kind of fall herby type of soup. I'm going to put in about 10 cups of water for this broth because I'm going to make a really large batch of soup. Now that my water is all in, we are going to wait for it to boil and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer and just let it sit there. I think the longer you let it sit, the better the flavor will come out. So when it's done, I will bring it back and show you what it looks like. It has been now about an hour and a half or so, and our broth